Hello, I'm Jella Gonzalez of Rappler, and today we're talking to Guam resident Jay Saldana, a Filipino-American who's lived in the U.S. island territory for 25 years. North Korea last week threatened Guam with a missile strike, and Jay will be talking to us about the atmosphere there and the people's reactions after the news broke. Jay, how are you today?
I'm good, Jello. How are you?
Good too. So last week, North Korea threatened to fire nuclear missiles near Guam. What was your initial reaction when you heard the news?
Again, for as long as I've lived on Guam, we've heard of threats from them, even when Kim Jong Il was alive as well. Even during Clinton's term, Obama's term. We're pretty much not. It's not it's been a common occurrence as far as threats to the island. But I believe this time around, since Trump's president, things have been, the pot's been stirred, if you can say so.
So there was a sense that this was more serious because of Trump being the president.
Yeah, he's been in the news quite often for, the way he says certain things or the way he handles certain political events or political things,
Yeah, and he was talking about fire and fury, right?
Yeah, you know how Trump is. He loves to put those words in very glamorous sense. He likes to make things bigger than they usually are.
From what you've observed there, how do the people usually react to incendiary words like those from Trump?
Well, you've got people that support him and people that don't support him. So for the people that support Trump, they're like, oh my God, we've got to be careful, we've got to prepare. And for the people that don't, like Trump, they're just like, oh, okay, well, it's probably just another one of those empty threats, or just Trump being Trump, pretty much.
Yeah. Back to the news of North Korea attacking Guam. Did you talk to family and friends right after you heard the news? Did they immediately reach out to you? Was there that level of panic, or was there not?
I've got family and friends all over the world. I've got a little brother that's in the U.S. Navy. He's in Florida. He wasn't really shocked. Growing up here on Guam, I think we've been threatened by North Korea maybe more than a handful of times. And we didn't think much of it. Got family and friends in the Philippines, and they were kind of distraught, because Trump's the president now, and the media's been really in Guam. CNN's here. I think people from Fox are here, CNBC, and major news outlets have been coming to Guam and stirring the pot, like I said earlier. But to me, as a resident, I'm not really distraught or anything with those threats from North Korea.
Can you say why? Why aren't you distraught over the threats?
I got to give it up to the U.S. military. They've got a big presence here on the island. We've got strategic Air Force base. We've also got a strategic U.S. naval base. And almost maybe every month, they've got some training going on with allies like Australia, Japan, South Korea. So it's not like they've never handled these types of things or they've never encountered threats from North Korea.
Would you say that even on social media, people weren't panicking?
Oh man, social media is the worst. Facebook being one. Here on Guam, we have a chat app that we use, WhatsApp. It's equivalent to Viber out there in the Philippines, and people would type messages saying, "Oh, my uncle who's a CEO in the Navy says to prepare. North Korea is going to launch." It's stuff like that, like pretty much fake chain emails that's been going on in the chats, and screenshots of certain things on Facebook being posted and stuff like that. So it's for me, I pretty much laugh at all those posts and all the news media, because being on what they call "quote unquote" ground zero here on Guam, you see it and you're just like, okay, the media is totally portraying it so much different. Last week, I'm pretty sure everybody in the whole world knew who Guam was or where Guam is, because of all the attention that we've received.
Yeah.
But being here, it's just another day in paradise.
Yeah, and Trump even said that it's gonna boost tourism, right?
Yeah, I saw that video when he was talking to our governor, and he's with our governor 1,000%, and with what he was saying about that he's got our back, and then all of a sudden he's talking about how it's going to boost tourism. It's just another one of those things you scratch your head like, okay.
Okay. Outside social media, what did you notice about the people there? How are people dealing with them? Was it business as usual?
Yeah, it's business as usual. Paradise as usual. I'm usually at the beach every day after work. The tourists are still out there. I've got people, I've got friends that work for the tourist industry, and believe it or not, the hotels are full capacity. We've got a lot of tourists these days from South Korea, tourists from Japan, Taiwan, China. But the thing about it too is, I've got some friends that have really close relationships with folks over in South Korea, and the time that to panic is if the people in South Korea panic. And there's none of that. They're still coming to Guam and visiting, so it's business as usual. Same stuff, every day.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So no panic buying. Did you get to see any of the rallies?
There were a handful of people. My coworker being one of them, she was kind of freaking out. She's not originally from Guam. She's only been here for a couple years, and she was talking about, oh man, we need to go buy some supplies and all that stuff. I mean, we're so accustomed to natural disasters here, earthquakes, typhoons, most especially. Everyone's almost stocked well in the pantries and batteries and all those other things. So I think there was only a handful of people that I really felt were panic buying.
So I mean, you're good. You already have your batteries and
we're pretty much set. I've got my set of flashlights. We've got stock of water and some canned goods just in case.
Okay. The days after the news broke, did the tension die down even further?
I would say it was still there. We were still cautious of what was going on. I mean, we still went to work. Nothing really changed, but there was still a sense of weariness. We were just watching out. Okay, is he really going to do it? You still have that question in the back of your head: is he really going to do it this time? But I felt like it was still calm, despite all this. The social media posts and the news media content, that you guys have been seeing on the news and on the internet.
Okay, good. How about the Filipino community? There are about 42,800 there.
Yeah, about almost
Should
half
the Philippines
of
be
Guam's,
concerned?
No, I think the Filipinos here shouldn't be scared or anything. If anything, Guam's probably one of the safest places to be at right now. I mean, Japan's got our back as far as defense. South Korea, we've got the U.S. military here, so I don't think that the Filipino community is going to be affected or should be scared at all.
Did you hear some Filipinos saying that they'd like to return to the Philippines or fly?
Yeah,
elsewhere?
I've
Was there
heard
any
of
that?
people I've heard of people wanting to go back to the Philippines or moving to Canada or the States. But it's it's all hearsay. It's just when they panic, they end up saying certain things.
How about you personally?
Personally, I
You'd
really
stay there.
thought that the threat was a joke. I mean, I've been on Guam for 25 years. Um, yeah, I've heard countless threats from North Korea for as long as I can remember, and not one of those threats have been done, or initialized. So I'm pretty much good, paradise as usual for me,
Okay, so and earlier today, North Korea actually pulled back with
Yeah,
threats, right? And said they'd hold
yeah,
off on the missile attack.
yeah. I was
What
reading
was the
the
reaction to that?
news. I thought it was a bunch of crap. Um, he was saying that last week he was going to strike Guam mid August. For me, someone who would really want to attack a country would never say anything. They just go and do it. And then to hear the news this morning of when he was supposedly attacked, that he was, not going to attack Guam, but will continually watch,
Yeah.
the U.S.'s actions and what they say. It was just really quite funny to hear and see.
But I bet people calmed down even more upon hearing.
Yeah, yeah. I've joked with my coworker who's kind of scared. It's like, hey, North Korea took their threat back. You can come back to work now.
Okay, but what do you think are the consequences for Guam if North Korea were to actually push through with an attack?
Guam is such a small island. You can't even find it on the globe. If you take a look at the globe, it's just a speck on the globe. So good luck for North Korea trying to find the actual location of Guam. He was saying that he would launch those missiles 20 miles off the coast of Guam. Some of my friends were actually joking, okay, does he really know where we're at? I mean, what if he really does hit Guam instead of where the 20-mile mark he was saying, So yeah, I'm not really scared of what he's gonna do.
Okay. Okay. With North Korea holding off, things somewhat de-escalate, and hopefully that continues. That said, how would you want the U.S. government to proceed from here on out?
I think that we should still be, cautious about certain things, especially with Trump being president. You don't know what he's going to say. He might trigger something, but I pretty much got confidence with the U.S. and we're not going to do anything stupid to trigger anything. So it's all up to North Korea to do that.
Okay. Okay, Jay. We appreciate the time. Thanks for talking to us today, and we
Hey,
do
thanks,
hope that
Jello.
things calm down further from here on
Yeah.
out. Okay. So that was Jay Saldana, a Guam resident for 25 years, Filipino-born, and he just talked to us about the current situation in Guam, which was recently threatened by North Korea with a missile attack. I'm Jello Gonzalez. Thank you for watching.